Friends, goal setting is an important step in everyone's financial planning. In this video, I will help you to set effective financial goals. Before that, let us understand why goal setting is important. I will tell you two important reasons. The number one reason is setting the goal gives you clarity with respect to what is your current position in comparison to your desired financial position. You can easily understand the difference or the gap, and you can strategize how to reach your desired position in a better way. Second reason is it gives an opportunity for you to focus on what is the most important thing for you and avoid all the distractions. One of the fundamental principle is that goals should always be very specific and should not be abstract. What it means is that instead of setting very abstract goal, like for example, I want to buy a big house or I want to buy a luxury car, it you can change that goal, or you can define the exact goal in a very specific manner. For example, you can say that I want to buy a 1600 SFT 3 BHK apartment in so and so city. Goal should also be very time bound. Instead of the above goal, you can restate it something like this: I want to buy a 1600 SFT 3 BHK apartment in so and so city by 2025. Now this goal is very specific, and it is easy to measure whether you reached or whether you achieved your goal or not in the given time. These types of goals are called SMART goals, and SMART means it's an acronym for specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely goals. So in every financial planning, we should follow this SMART goal setting. Now, let us understand one more important difference, or important concept while setting the goal. That is understanding the difference between wants and needs. Now, what is the difference between them? Needs are something that are essential for your daily living, and without that your daily life will get impacted very significantly. For example, a home to stay, right? You need a home to stay, you need a vehicle to travel to office or go somewhere. So, or you want to buy daily groceries, you want to pay for your children's school um, fees. So all these things are essential for your daily life. These are all needs. Now, what are the wants? Wants, everything that is not a need is a want. Essentially, these are all aspirational goals. Okay. Now, the line between the wants and needs is very thin. Most people make a common mistake to, here prioritize wants before the needs. One way to differentiate if a goal is want or a need is to understand the impact in your life or in your family life or daily life if the goal is not achieved. All right, for example, you have a goal and you don't achieve, what happens, or what is the impact on your life? If the impact is significant, then that particular goal is a need. You should focus on that and prioritize first. If the impact is not very significant, I mean, it is very minor, it's minor inconvenience for your daily life, then there is, just a want or aspirational goal, and you don't need it immediately. Or maybe if you don't have enough resources to fund that particular goal, you can cut down on that and, look for an alternative. Now, let us understand this concept with a practical example so that it is very easy to follow. I will give you a case and a hypothetical but a practical case, and look at some of his goals and understand whether that goal is a want or a need, right? And these things are very subjective in nature. It varies from person to person. We should understand his background and his existing resources to determine whether this is a need or this is a want. Let us try to understand the hypothetical case of Mr. Rahul and Mrs. Neha. Mr. Rahul is 35 years. old, and Mrs. Neha is 32 years old. They both live in Hyderabad, and they have a son, 4 years old. Now, Rahul works in a MNC company with a monthly take-home salary of 1.2 lakhs, and he is expected to get a 8% salary hike every year. Now, Neha is a homemaker. They live in their own apartment, which they purchased in the year 2015. To purchase this home, Rahul took a 50 lakh home loan, and he's paying a EMI of 47,000 every month. And the current outstanding principal on the loan is 34 lakhs. Now, let us look at his current assets. So far, Rahul has accumulated 15 lakhs in his EPF account and 10 lakhs in ELSS funds, and he has invested 20 lakhs in equity mutual fund. Okay, and he also has a 10 lakh endowment LIC policy, which will mature in the next 5 years. And he is covered under the group medical insurance from his company of for a 5 lakh sum insured. Now he got 2 acre land in his village from his father, and it is worth 2 acres are worth now 30 lakhs. So this is a case, hypothetical case. Now let us try to understand if Rahul has to have some financial goals, what they will look like, and whether they are really a wants or needs, which one should be prioritized in which order. Let us try to look from a practical angle. Okay, now goal number one. Rahul want to buy a 3000 SFT villa in Gachibowli in Hyderabad in the year 2028. Presently, it is costing 2 crore today, and the cost is increasing 6% per annum. Now, is this a want or a need? Now, looking at his case, he's already living in a own house, which is a 3 BHK apartment, and it is just 7 years old. Now he's already paying 47,000 EMI, which is almost 40% of his total take-home salary. And considering that, this seems like a very big aspiration. And if he don't achieve this goal, right, what is the impact on his life? Probably, he will live on in his existing 3 BHK apartment without any problem. But just that, the lifestyle will not be as luxury as his goal, his dream house of 3000 SFT villa, right? That is the only difference, but there's no major significant impact on his lifestyle. Okay, now considering this goal probably is a want. Now let us look at his other goals. Now he want to send his son to ISP Hyderabad when he graduates in probably 2040. He's just 4 years now, so he will be graduating in 2040. And presently, the MBA cost in ISB is approximately 50 lakhs, including um, admission, tuition fee, accommodation, and everything else. We can roughly assume 50 lakhs per annum, and it is increasing around 6% per annum. Now, considering this goal and inflation, by the time he graduates in 2040, the MBA cost in ISB would probably be somewhere around 1.3 crore. Now, whether this is a want or a need, this is subjective, but education is something very, very important in everybody's life, right? As I mentioned in my previous video, education will make or break in somebody's career, somebody's life. So probably this is a need. This should be a need. You want to give best education for your children. So this should be a need. Now let's look at what is his next goal. He want to retire at the age of 60. Presently, he is at 35 years, and he want to retire at 60, which means around in 25 years from now. And he want to have a retirement corpus which can cover the monthly expenses of present 50,000 rupees. Okay, presently it is 50,000 rupees, and he want to plan for the retirement for the 30 years. So he want to retire at 2048, and he want to plan for the retirement for the 30 years, that is 2078. And the inflation he is expecting is around 5%. Now let us look at this example. Now today he is spending 50,000 rupees for monthly, uh, and by the time he retires in 2048, the monthly expenses at 5% inflation would be around 1.5 lakh. Now he needs this 1.5 lakh in the 2045 per month. Now he also needs this particular monthly expenditure every month until 2048 with 5% escalation year over year. That means if you do the calculation, essentially Rahul needs 3.86 crores in 2048 to fund his retirement. Okay, so this, whether this is a need or want, this is absolutely need, because you know he's spending 50,000 rupees today and he don't want to change, without impacting his current lifestyle. If he want to live, then he need this money definitely when he retires, right? Unless he has this particular corpus 3.86 crore, he will not be able to maintain his present lifestyle. He has to cut down his expenditure. He has to cut down his lifestyle. So this is essentially a need. He want to maintain this lifestyle. It is not a luxury lifestyle, but his current lifestyle. He's not expecting any additional expenditure. He is just want to maintain the current lifestyle. So essentially, this is a need. Now let us look at some other goal. I want to go to foreign vacation twice a year, which costs 3 lakh per annum today and increasing at 6% per annum. So you want to go to a foreign vacation twice a year, which is probably a aspiration considering all his present expenses, upcoming his son's school fees and EMIs. He's already paying 40% for his EMI. Everything considered, this is going to be an aspirational goal, and this is a want. It cannot be a need. So he can do two things: either cut down the aspiration, probably, instead of going twice a year, he can go to vacation once in a year, or instead of going for a foreign vacation, probably he can, go within the country, so that he spends time with his family, but at a lesser cost. So this is definitely a want. Now, the next goal is he want to buy a family floater health insurance of 10 lakhs for his entire family. Now, this is a little bit different goal. This is a, a risk management goal. Think for a moment. This is absolutely need, right? What happens to him if something happens, uh, and unfortunate event happens and he need to spend, let's say, 5 or 6 lakhs on his hospitalization. Now you might think he already has a coverage in his company. Think for a moment, is that enough, right? Considering the global scenario right now, company provided coverage is temporary, right? When you retire, you don't have a coverage. You want to be covered throughout your retirement period also, right? If you have to spend 5 lakh from your existing resources, then actually, you're taking money from some of the other goal, right? For example, your son's ISB education, you are saving, investing in some fund. Now suddenly you need money to bill to take care of a hospitalization, 5 lakhs. Now you are taking from your son's education planning, which is very, very bad. So this is absolute necessary. So you want to have a health insurance coverage which covers your family, for a decent sum insured throughout your life. Now let us look at the final goal. What he wants. I want to buy a term insurance of 3 crore to cover the financial security of my family in an unfortunate event. Think for a moment whether this goal is a need or want. This is again a risk management, right? This is an absolutely a need. This is so essential for you to save or protect your family's financial security. And think for a moment, what happens if something happens to Rahul? What happens to his family, right? Now, he's 35 years old and he's a single breadwinner to the family, and he has got 25 years of earning career. If something happens to him, his family will lose that 25 years of earning potential. Now, he also has a outstanding loan of 34 lakhs, and he will not be able to, his family will not be able to retain that house, right? If something happens, this is an essential need
Now,
and this is not a want. So in this example, Rahul, if you think what happens to his family, what is the loss to his family, right? So you can use this human life value calculation. If you currently he's earning around annual income, net income of 14 lakhs, and if he's getting a salary hike of 8% per annum, the family will lose 3.2 crores if something happens to Rahul today. That is the impact to the family. So that is definitely a need. It's one of the biggest need. So like this, if you write down all your goals and evaluate the impact, what happens if you don't achieve your goal, and you can prioritize your goals in the right order, and anything that is not a need, that is not an important thing for you right now, you can consider that as a want or aspirational. There is a very famous uh, rule in personal finance which is called 50-30-20 budgeting rule, which essentially says that you should spend less than 50% of your net income on your daily needs. I mean, if you are spending more than 50% on your daily in the needs, then something is wrong with your lifestyle. Either you have to cut down your lifestyle, or you have to, increase your earning potential. Um, right. I think we discussed about what is a need already. Now, wants you can spend up to 30%. You should have 20% minimum 20% of your income. You should be spending on your savings, that is your long-term goals, like retirement or emergency fund, building an emergency fund, or anything that you want to achieve in your long term. 20% is the minimum. You can save more than that. This rule definitely helps somebody who actually spends money on unnecessary items, even though they are not needed. It really helps them to streamline their spending and encourage them to save. I hope you are able to understand why we need to set financial goals and how to set effective financial goals in this video. If you like the video, please share and subscribe. Thank you.